Hey everyone, welcome to Project Paparazzi. Today we are kickstarting a series where I'll be walking you guys through my recently developed interior design projects. Essentially how this works is that I'm going to show you guys the behind the scenes of the projects and the end product of the projects. However, given that this was my first project and it was an e-design project, I was unable to capture the behind the scenes of the project and the actual end product of the project because I was not fully involved in the project like that. Let me explain. With an e-design, essentially what happens is you show the client what their space can potentially become through 3D models, and you also show them the different places where they can go and purchase whatever material or furniture pieces that they need. So essentially the designer is not as involved on the project compared to the full service design, which is what my business inherently focuses on. But because this was my first project, I made an exception. This project started as a complete blank canvas, and it's actually a rental unit in one of the multi-family properties in Cape Town. The client uses the space as a home office and a studio at the same time. Work office during work hours and a studio on their downtime. So the client wanted to acoustically treat the room because they felt like there's always an echo whenever they are recording their music, and whenever they're in like work meetings as well, people are always complaining of the echo in the background. However, they also wanted the space to be functional and clean during work hours. So we did our best to support them in that front. And a quick disclaimer that I must make is that we're working on a really tight budget, and given that this is a rental space, the client didn't want to go ham on something that they would later forfeit. As a result, the client wanted inexpensive products or DIY material. So for acoustic treatment, the client had an already existing mat which was just tucked away when I went for my site visit, and we just got a curtain to consolidate for the lace curtain that was already there as well. And then we also resorted to acoustic panels. We had an option with going for the smaller or the bigger ones, and we chose the bigger ones as a result. Oh yeah, and I remember that the client also wanted storage. So for storage, we suggested that the client gets almost like a shelf for storage. It's like a long shelf, but you can it has drawers and stuff. For the space being functional and clean, I think the one thing that I really appreciated about the client is that it's not only innately creative, but they also were critical thinkers as well, in a sense that they already had zip ties, and they use these zip ties to tie the wires around the table just so that they're not all over the floor and all of that, which is, I feel like, it's smart and inexpensive. And the other final thing is that the client was not really finicky about the color that they wanted in the space. However, I think the one thing that I look back and I'm like, I should have asked the client what mood they were trying to convey in the space and stuff, you know. But yeah, anyway, we ended up getting just a regular decular curtain that was blue. We didn't have any color scheme in mind at the time. We just went with what was in stock. So yeah, we essentially ended up going for that baby blue or powder blue curtain. Essentially how the project starts is that we start with a site visit. And I usually just go in to measure the space. Firstly across from all ends. And then I'll go on and measure the smaller areas in the space, like window sills, electrical outlets, and all those things that I feel like we need to take into account. And then the final thing, then I'll take the ceiling height, and I must also make a disclaimer that when the project started, this client didn't have a lot of stuff in the office. I think they had just about a table, a chair, and the monitors and keyboard on the side. And then as the project progressed, this client started getting things like light boxes, a whiteboard, which called for many revisions. So you will see that at the end of the project. However, I must say that it's expected for clients to really change their mind and feel differently about something at a different stage. So that was pretty normal. I think that's just to bring to your attention that what you were seeing when I went for my site visit and what the final product would look a little bit different based on what had transpired in between the project. So given that this was my first ever project, I made an exception to do an e-design project. However, going forth, I don't ever want to work with e-design projects. I feel like they're very limiting and you don't get to express yourself as a designer that much. And for that reason, I don't ever want to work on a e-design project, because I feel like in as much as it absolves you of so much responsibility and stuff, it doesn't always give you a good portfolio. Please let me know in the comments below your thoughts about this project, and yeah, I think that's it. Bye.